Now, thousands of people in New England are without electricity after yesterday's nor'easter strengthened into a bomb cyclone off the coast.
Wind gusts topped 90 miles per hour in parts of Massachusetts. Crews are now working to clear uprooted trees and downed power lines.
Utility companies say it could take days to restore electricity. 12 News reporter Chelsea Jones is live in North Kingstown with a look at the conditions there. Chelsea?
Guys, so the road behind me was actually blocked off for a better part of the day, but within the last couple of hours, National Grid trucks have moved in to take a look and take down a lot of power lines that are covering that area. So many neighborhoods, they'll look the same as what we're going to show you in this story, like in Warwick, but also across Massachusetts. Wires trap residents from getting out of this Warwick neighborhood. Transformers and the power lines taken down by the strength of a nor'easter.
We didn't even get the estimate of the power coming back on until sometime last night.
Wednesday, street lights across town were out, and here's a glimpse at the incredible images we were seeing. Look at this tree completely removed from its base, and if you get a look at the front yard here, snapped tree branches lay all across the lawn. In Massachusetts, more of the same. This is a Dartmouth neighborhood slammed with severe damages Wednesday.
Now it's kind of a waiting game because, as you can see, it's a one-way, so we're kind of trapped.
The governor speaking Thursday, saying more than 400,000 residents have had their power turned back on.
About 300,000 locations that are still being restored. The number of crews that were on the ground today was significantly bigger than the number of crews that were on the ground yesterday.
The message across the board from officials.
So they have to be patient.
It's frustrating, but it is what it is.
Several school districts in Massachusetts were out of school due to the power outages, but a lot of that decision a lot of the reason that they had to do that was because crews couldn't tackle the power issues until winds died down like they did today. We're live in North Kingstown. I'm Chelsea Jones, 12 News.
Now at 6, the cleanup goes on of the latest October nor'easter's impact. National Grid reports a few thousand customers in Rhode Island are still without electricity tonight.
The utility says it may take them at least until tomorrow to restore power. 12 News reporter Chelsea Jones has been talking to people who are still waiting for their power to come back on. She joins us now live from North Kingstown. Chelsea?
Mike and Shannon, when I arrived to Stony Lane a couple of hours ago, there were a lot of down power lines and trees, and that's why National Grid trucks have come to scenes across our region to try and get things back up and running. But that's the one thing a lot of residents I spoke to today wanted to know, when they can expect their power to cut back on. Power lines hang like decoration in this Warwick neighborhood. Police tape signaling danger ahead as power lines blanket the road and cars alike. Residents are trapped.
Pretty frustrating. I mean, everything in our fridge we're planning on throwing out.
We caught up with a couple residents on their way out of this cul-de-sac, many leaving on foot to meet friends for a ride, others heading for shelter.
Even trying to find a hotel, we found that a bunch of them are already booked up at this point because everyone was rushing to try to get out.
National Grid crews spotted in Warwick Thursday morning. These are just some of the 2,400 utility crews tasked with restoring the massive outages.
It's frustrating, but it is what it is.
Down in North Kingstown, power lines dangle above the concrete, cars forced to find alternate routes.
Not uncommon on Stony Lane. It happens quite a bit because the trees overhang the wires.
Lights are out, food is spoiled, and there isn't any heat. Residents are wondering when the electricity will come back on. So like we've mentioned, those residents are just frustrated because they want those heat to come back on and lights and things of that nature. But we did speak to the mayor yesterday, and he said it's just going to take some patience and, of course, time. We're live in North Kingstown. I'm Chelsea Jones, 12 News.